Hello, today in this session we will continue our topic in the series of lecture of ERP. What the topic that we want to discuss now is about financial and controlling. So they are actually a separate module. However, because the business process itself is quite short, so we will combine them. Okay, let's just start about the financial accounting module business process then. As usual, we will we will discuss about this financial thing is about every time we discuss this module from here SAP, we will discuss about the organizational structure, the master data, and then the process. However, for this one, there is for this financial accounting module, there is one important thing that need to mention is about the reporting thing. So why? Because basically financial module is actually a function. Financial is a function that are really established. I mean, mostly you will found the format or how to do it is the same across companies. So because this is really a template that are common, then even the reporting itself is it can be standardized. That's why, and also the important thing about the financial itself is not about the process actually, but about the reports. Why will come up to that? Okay, first about the let's start then. First about the first we'll come up with this organizational structure. Okay. So the goal of financial accounting module is designed to collect transactional data. We already discussed what is the transactional data is that provide a foundation for preparing standard portfolio of report. So you will know about this report from other courses like the one that I teach also about the uh, cost analysis and estimation, and also from other courses like engineering economic, etc., and also introduction to economy and etc., right? So basically it's about the standard report of financial accounting. In general, these reports are primarily but not exclusively directed at external parties, usually for auditor or also external parties. So this is the common reports for financial report, which is the balance sheet, the income statement, and statement of cash flow. They are always using this. So this is actually the end result of the module in the financial accounting module. So we want to make this one. Okay. The audience will be internal and external. Usually financial is for the external, but there is also internal. So there is not that much different, but the organizational structure. So we already know about this. However, for this, there are the one that are special, which is chart of account. So basically, this is the list of account that use it a classification scheme consisting of group of general ledger. So this is a list of account that can be used to group transaction and put them into general ledger. So different type transaction with similar types like procurement or etc. If they are similar, they can put into one account. There is also credit control area. You know about this. So this is basically to control how the credit of each customer. So how many they can buy at the time. Business area. This is related to the selling. And this is actually the structure of financial accounting. As you can see, global pie chart of account. They use the same chart of account for and business area for bike and global credit control. Basically, almost all of this thing is using the same. So as you can see, even from different branches, for global black, they have the same credit control area policy, chart of account policy, etc. Basically, it's the same. Yeah, for finance, it need to be same because finance is the of core infrastructure of a function within an enterprise. As for the master data, yeah, we already heard about this in our previous modules. So sometimes we heard about this general ledger account. So this is basically the most important account in the financial accounting module. So this general ledger keeps all of those transaction which is grouped into chart of account and put them here. So basically, what in there side of the general ledger is also the customer and vendor master data. So basically this one is also related, but you can also found this customer is from the SD module and vendor from the MM module, so they are related. It's also used. As for the customer account, as for the uh, yes, for the customer account, the general ledger itself is the main database, right? The main data master. However, they also somehow can be, what do you call it, uh, subdivided into account receivable subledger and also account payable subledger. So basically this is what, so this is the account receivable is if we already sell but not yet receive the payment, basically like that. So it keeps the record of that thing. So money that we will receive later on. This is account payable is basically the information with respect to vendor from whom the enterprise purchase goods and service such as purchase and payment made. So basically this is the opposite of receivable. This is something that we bought from our vendor or supplier and then but we still not yet paid. So basically, so this compose you can see as subdivide the general ledger. And the process itself, basically the process itself is only posting a GL entry. So this is a really because yeah, the process itself is not, it's not specialized, it's already a common. What you need to do is first you from the transaction you will collect them into a chart of account, and then based on that you will generate income statement and then cash flow and then at the end balance sheet. And that's the common way of doing accounting, right? So basically in here you just need to make sure that all of the transaction is posted in GL entry, and then later on you can just make a report out of it. So this is the GL account summary. So it's already there. So it's already in the format like this, right? So this is already there for the reporting. There will be, so this is the GL account summary. So to see the database, and then balance sheet, they already have the balance sheet. Okay. And then this is the reporting of balance sheet. As you can see, this is the standard format of balance sheet that you know. So basically total asset need to be the same with the total liabilities and equity. So to be correct, to make it correct. In reporting, there is also income statement that can give us the actual net income, that we have, which is that we get from revenues and minus the expense. Here, revenue, total revenue, operating expense, then we get net income. As for statement of cash flow, it is about the cash that are that that we have, the flow of cash that are happening in our company. So there will be inflow and outflow of cash. So this thing we can see them. Okay, you can using this. And also what's important is that, as you know, because this is an enterprise system, every transaction will be kept in the log. So even though there will be a mistake and need to change, the previous log will always be stored. So and then it's different like when we have it written in the book, like manually. So if you want to change it, you can just type it and then overwrite this kind of thing doesn't happen in the log in this type of enterprise system, right? Because there will be a record of changing in this kind of thing. So this enterprise system, especially the financial accounting, has really can become a really good source to do audits, right? Because what? Because they have the first, they keep all of the transaction. Secondly, they keep all of the record of transaction, even though that there is a change of those kind of things. Okay, so that's the initial idea. Basically, using that, it's easy to do audit related to this kind of to this company. Okay, so this is basically the idea. Once written to the SAP database, a financial document cannot be deleted. So this is important. It can be changed to some degree, but it never be deleted. So for audit, this is really good. Yeah, there is also advantages. Each business transaction impacting VI write data to SAP database, creating a uniquely numbered electronic document. So because every transaction there is a uniquely numbered electronic document, it's easy to trace. So when you do audit and you need to trace some document, it's easy to do that. This is also the advantages of using financial accounting data module to do audit. And so that later on, the document number can be used to recall the transaction at a later date. So this is the idea. So as you mentioned, so basically SAP financial module is a module that are fully integrated with other SAP module. So even from our previous discussion regarding the three module, we can always found that there is a relationship between all of those module to the finance. Yes, because finance manage all of the money, right? The cash flow and etc. All of the transaction regarding to money. So everything that are related to that will be connected to VI. That is it. That's why it's easily to find integration of process if you pay attention to the VI module. As you can see, it's related to the S and D, MM, PP, and the production planning and execution, and also the later on the managerial accounting. So that's it. I think let's see the process then. This is the process of financial module. As you can see, for the financial module, is it a new account? If it's no, if it's yes, then we create the account. Remember the chart of account. So we need to create the account to collect all of the transactions that are similar. Create account, create cost element in here. If no, then we can go directly. It will be stored in the general ledger database, and then we can post journal entries here based on the chart of account that already present here. And then there we can create, after that we can if there is a payment, we can create invoice, post incoming payment for revenue. And if we want to do payment, so this is basically, I mentioned there are subdivision within GL, which is the account receivable and account payable. So basically is this one. Account receivable is that then when we want to receive payment. So this is related to payment or even account receivable. So we create invoice, pay incoming payment as this one. Or if we want to pay something, or perhaps the payment is conducted by the other department, they will go and post, we can just post the outgoing payment expense like this, right? And then we can display financial report. There are three type of financial report: balance sheet, income statement, as cash flow. And this is the process itself. So I think it's already scripted in the system itself. That is for financial accounting module. Okay, now we continue with the controlling module. Let's check first. So this is controlling module. So this is always related. Why? If you remember, there is in the course of perhaps some of you already take it, the course of cost analysis and estimation, we talk about cost management, right? So in the cost management is basically how company can manage or control their cost management inside their company. So it will be like this. Goal of okay, let's start then. So goal of controlling. Manager accounting or short-term controlling is designed to collect transactional data that provide a foundation for preparing internal reports. So this is the opposite of the financial accounting, where it is mainly to produce report to the external. This one is only for internal, for controlling, for monitoring, that support decision making within the enterprise. These reports are exclusively for use within the enterprise and include cost center performance, profit center, and budget analysis. So basically the cost center and profit center is something to record what already happened, while budget analysis is to plan the budget and also check whether the budget is meet or is the realization is good or not according to the budget or not. So the audience is this mainly executive, senior management, department manager, controller, cost accountant. So basically the decision maker and also about the accountant. So the structure. So client company, it's similar. Controlling area, operating concern. Okay. So this is what's different is I think this one is the operating concern and controlling area. So basically this is perhaps they want, this is for policy for each of those different controlling area and also operating concern. It's like this. So as you can see, mostly they have, this is from the same, similar to the previous financial module. So it's used the same policy. As for master data, there is a profit center, there is a cost center. So this is basically for a department that are becoming a profit center. They are the one who generate revenue. So every transaction or every data that related to that will be in the profit center, and while the opposite, those that are spending money in the cost center. There is also internal order for this co. So basically there is one co-master data, but they include all of this function. Internal order, temporary cost collector responsible for cost containment, company picnic, trade show, wedding campaign. So this is something related to the some event that are happening within the company. Revenue element, okay, one-to-one linkage mapping between general ledger revenue account and core revenue. So later we will discuss about this later. Cost element, primary cost. Now, this is what important. So the cost element, there is a primary cost element and also secondary cost element. So this is basically how co module can be related to finance to FI module. Okay, as you can see here, this is the financial module that we already talked. So we have this general ledger account that we can generate income statement and balance sheet based on that thing. So basically from the income statement is the profit, right? The net profit, how we generate net profit. It came from the revenue account and also expense account, right? However, we know that the total of expense, the expense account, where we can get this one. So the expense is mean the cost. It came from the costs that are happening within the company. And this cost is basically in the co in the managerial accounting is considered as the same as the primary cost element. So this is basically the same. In here it called expense account. This is primary cost element. And then what is secondary cost element? It's basically like this. So this gives the figure or this gives the information for the whole company. While this one for the manager company itself is consists of many departments, right? And every department has their own budget, has their own funding, finance, and basically aggregation of all of those departments can become the whole company. That's why we need to somehow break it down for every department so that we know how the composition of the budget, or of the realization of the budget or the money within the company. So basically that is the process of changing, of transferring the primary cost element into secondary cost element. So primary cost element is the costs that are happening as an aggregation for the whole company, while this one is for every department, for each department. So basically like this. So this is aggregated cost element. So you know about this one, right? We learn about this in the cost management. Okay. So this is the cost master data. So as you can see, it's the example of copy center activity. So basically this is the copy center, photocopy center, and then each of those department they need they all of them need copy center. However, how to distribute this thing? If you learn about the cost management, we have this what we call cost allocation. So this is mainly for the overhead costs that are not really related to the production itself. For the cost, we need some kind of a cost allocation. So sometimes we use like this, time, based on time, or based on man hour, etc., etc. So this one is based on time. So we provide time, how many hours that they can use the copy center for each of the department. Then, and this later on will be what do you call, transform, or will be related to the cost, the money itself by the system. Okay. The process itself is basically just try to connect between the primary and secondary, how to break the primary to the secondary cost element, and also how to aggregate the secondary cost element to primary. This is just to transform in this kind of thing. As you can see here, financial accounting, all of the expense will become the cost center, and become in the managerial accounting will become the primary cost element. And then later on, this is the cost center, the total one for the whole company. And then this is for posting primary cost element. And then later on, when we posting secondary cost element, we break down this one big cost center A into a smaller one. So this is for different department within the company. So this is for the whole company, and this is for different department, basically like that. As you can see, we break for the rent, total supply expense, total labor expense. We combine them, and then we will distribute them for different offices. So the total that the executive office can get for three of these things is 1,800. So it will contain three of these things with the different composition, but the total will be the same, right? So because there are priority, right? Not all department have similar budget, has the same budget. So that's why we need to divide them according to their needs. So we need to distribute them. So the type of allocation, there will be distribution and also assessment. Distribution is happening when perhaps at the first year when we plan, and then we give allocation to each department how much budget that they can have. At the end, assessment about at the end of the period, usually how much that they already use the realization. So this is distribution and the assessment, right? Just check the realization. So this is also fully integrated with other SAP modules. So it's similar with financial module. I think that's all. And let's check the process. So this is the process, is basically like this. So directly whether we conduct the cost center accounting. So we manage cost center, post secondary cost, costing activity, and then manage cost center, post secondary cost. So basically it is two type: costing activity, posting primary cost, and then review and assessment. So this is to manage the report for the cost that already happening. So we manage cost center, we set the cost center, we post secondary cost. This is happening in each department, and then we costing them using the activity-based costing. You will learn this in the when you do the course of cost analysis and estimation. And then we posting primary cost. This is already aggregated to one big cost thing, and then yeah, you can check, and then it will goes to as expand as total expand in the financial, and we can review and an assessment every time. There is also they have also what this what you call process of managing the product cost. So check how how is how is cost distributed, allocated to each product. So we can also do this. So basically this, the foundation for this is in the cost analysis and estimation courses. Yeah, I think that's all regarding the financial and controlling module. I hope this explanation help and in understanding what really happening within the process in a finance and co module. That's all. Thank you very much. Bye.